There is a tactic, and I use that term loosely, that I have seen people use in Warhammer 40,000 games. It isn't really a cunning maneuver because I don't want you to do it. It is tedious, it is contentious, but I want you to be aware of it so you can choose not to have it in your games. I am going to explain how you do it, the rule mechanics behind it, and how it can affect your gameplay. Whether you're a seasoned player or new to the battlefield, understanding it can give you a strategic edge in tournaments, or kill off any hope that people will want to play casual 40k with you. This is called charge blocking with walls, or walling off units, or uninteractive walls. It has a lot of names, but here is a breakdown of what it is. There's a purple unit that's in cover. They are within a ruin with a wall around them, an L-shaped wall, why not? The black unit wants to charge. The purple models are just over 1 inch from the outside of the wall. This means that the enemy infantry in black, with an average 32mm base or larger trying to charge this unit, cannot fit their base within the gap between the wall and the purple models. The model won't fit. To complete a valid charge, you have to end within engagement range, which is 1 inch from the enemy, and end in base contact if you can. The rules anticipated something like this, that is why there is the 1 inch engagement range and not strict base to base. But because of the distance from the outside of the wall, where the black models may end up, to the purple models, it is more than 1 inch. So that is not a valid charge. The black models would not end in engagement range. Even though they are 4 inches away and rolled a 7 on 2d6 for their charge, they can't complete their charge legally and would have to measure around the edge of the building to get close, which means this short distance requires a 10-inch charge. But even if a 10 was rolled, that only gets 1 model in engagement range. With pile-ins, that is 4 models from a 10 model unit. It is crippling to units specializing in combat. And this can be used against the smallest of bases. The smallest base is 25mm, that is 1 inch. To be in engagement range, you have to be within 1 inch of your opponent. The wall, even the thinnest card wall, will be over 1mm. With very precise measuring, you can be 24.9mm from the wall, preventing base contact on your side of the wall, and also you'll be more than 1 inch away from the enemy models if they were on the other side of the wall. The tournament pack for Pariah Nexus alludes to this situation. It says to figure it out how you want to resolve it on your own. It is a known problem, and if the rules have designer's notes to say this shouldn't be happening, using this tactic is not a situation the rules intended for. It is a bug, not a feature. But doing it, especially outside of a tournament, puts you in a sort of exchange system. You may increase the percentage of games of 40k you win, as you decrease the number of people willing to play with you. So how do we resolve it? And you can't say that this is just a tournament problem, as a lot of tournaments have workarounds to prevent this, and hopefully your casual games are not all with L-shaped ruins cut from the corner of a cardboard box. But if you need to do that to get playing, that's okay. The WTC tournaments in the past have treated infantry as being part of the wall and within the wall, and you place them on the side of the wall that they can actually fit on. Pile-in was then a bit more difficult, as you had to remember where the model actually was. They were updated, and in about February 2024 they said, okay, you have a 2-inch engagement range if you would be in combat, if not for the terrain blocking your base. Basically taking the same approach as the barricades and fuel pipes terrain. If you were able to be in contact with normal 1-inch engagement range, then you do that. If you can fit the other side and be in base contact as normal, you have to do that. But if the charge would be successful, if not for the wall in the way, that is a completed charge. This is a simplified summary of that solution. The WTC document is 12 pages long trying to resolve the issue, and it has a lot of edge cases and extra exceptions. I've linked it in the description for you. Or, completely different from that, you could just agree that, no, we can't do that. Choose friendship. Choose life. Make good decisions today. Most people aren't going to do this because they are good people and want to have a fun game, and we know from the comments in the Tournament Companion that this is not an intended feature of the rules. Tournaments that say you can do this are of course the exception to that. But Put your models up against the wall if you can so that they can be charged, or shift them back a little after a charge is seen to be in range so that the enemy can be your side of the wall and in base contact. As some tournaments still accept walling off as a viable strategy, and that really messes up tournament reporting results if the different ways of dealing with it are put together as one stat. Either it's allowed or it's not allowed. They all go together. If charge blocking is allowed, it favours an infantry army with fragile units that can't take a charge but can deliver one. Eldar, Dark Eldar, Genestealer Cult come to mind. They can't be seen, as most of the ruins in these tournaments have solid walls with no windows. They can't be charged easily, but as infantry, they can move through the wall and shoot and charge whoever they want. But if you can ignore the walls in WTC games, which often have far more terrain than other tournament setups, that strongly favours elite melee armies. Maybe ruins should be banned everywhere. Have solid blocks that you can't see over or move through next to some woods as terrain. But solid walls would stop you getting around to press that subscribe button. Make your own terrain rules. 9th edition had very flexible terrain, but there was probably too many rules assigned to each type of terrain. I'm sure that terrain suits the shooting phase much better. That the benefit of cover is easy to follow, not at all counterintuitive, and won't cause any arguments. Make sure you have a great day of 40k.